So hopefully you can see my screen okay. I'm going to move on to some introductions. So the first introduction I'd like is if I can ask Ebenezer, College Director Principal, to just say a few words to welcome everyone, if that's okay, Eb.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great, awesome. It's great to meet with so many of you. I really appreciate the time that for those of you who are no longer with us, but have been with us in the past, for taking the time off your very busy schedule. And even for those who are still with us, taking the time off yours. Basically, I know it's that time of the year when there is assessments all around. So just want to say thank you very much for making it a priority to be with us today. We as a college are very excited because there is a lot of growth in Nigeria. We've seen a lot of students come through to us and become very successful. And those who are currently with us are doing really, really well. So we are very proud of that. So I hope this session would build on the success that we've had so far in Nigeria. And I hope that by sharing your experiences as current or previous students would help the new incoming students to see how well we take care of our students and the support system that is available to them. Just want to say I'm very proud of you, all of you who have gone through us. And for those that are coming, I'm looking forward to meeting with you and to have the opportunity to provide that experience in order for you to be able to achieve your academic objectives. So thank you very much for joining us, and really appreciate the time. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Eb. I'm going to move on to, and thank you, Eb. I know you've got a lot to do today, so please feel free to drop off as and when you can. If any questions come through for you, we will be sure to pass them on to you. Beth, are you okay to keep an eye on questions and things like that that are popping up?
Yeah, I think Ebby as well is helping out with that. So thanks, Ebby.
Wonderful, thanks, Ebby. Brings me on to the next slide. So just like to kind of introduce introduce myself and my colleague Ebby to you. So I'm Rob. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions here at BCUIC, and obviously we are here to help you through the application process and through the admissions process, and obviously help you to join us hopefully in January. And obviously once you are here, we have a wonderful team of academic staff and also student services staff to help support you through that. I'd like to also introduce you to my colleague Ebby, who's based in Lagos. Ebby, would you mind saying a few words?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Lovely to meet you. My name is Ebby. I'm the SSRM. I cover West Africa. I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. So I'm close to a lot of you all because I see a lot of Lagosians out there. So I'm close to a lot of you. Happy to give you support. Thank you for joining. I hope we answer all your questions, and we're just here to support you, your journey, applications, everything up until when you get to school and you eventually get to meet Rob and Beth and everybody.
Thank you, Abby. So as I say, thank you so much for joining us today, both the panel and all of the attendees. We're going to be talking about BCUIC, BCU, and we want to showcase Birmingham as a destination for you to consider for your studies in the future. And in order to do that, I've got a real pleasure in welcoming you to our student panel. I'm going to turn over to the next page, and hopefully we can get a few of you guys to start introducing yourselves. So are you okay just to start across? So Samuel, if you can start for us and just introduce yourself, maybe tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, and obviously where you're from, potentially in Nigeria as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samuel, and I'm from Nigeria, particularly Lagos, because most people are from Lagos, and Lagos is a very big city. So I'm currently undergoing foundation in law. This is the first semester, so I'm planning to join the college when I'm done with the foundation next year. So it's great to meet you guys.
Thank you. Jossy, can I ask you to introduce yourself next?
All right. Hi, everyone. I am Jossy. I'm from Abia State, Nigeria, but I live in Abuja, actually. I graduated from the BCUIC, the foundation program, and I'm presently in BCU in my first year as a media and communication student.
Thank you so much. Khalid, maybe I can ask you to go next.
Hi everyone, my name is Khalid Muhammad, and firstly I would like to say a very massive thank you to BCUIC as well as BCU for all the contributions you've done to me during my stay in the UK. And I would like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity as well to participate in this meeting. And I'm currently a barrister in law. Given the fact that I'm done with my law school, I'm currently practicing in the chamber, hoping for to get a job for myself in NCC, that's Nigerian Communication Commission. But I'm currently with the chamber, working and then trying to learn some new skills as well. And I'm calling from Abuja, but I'm originally from Nasarawa State in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, Khalid. Joanna?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, my name is Joanna and I graduated from BCUIC doing Art and Design Foundation year. I'm now at BCU doing media and communication. I'm from Oyo State, Nigeria, but I grew up and lived in Kefi, Nasarawa State, Nigeria. And it's so good to meet everyone.
Thank you, Joanna. Rolake, can you hear me? Is it working okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Is it okay if you go next?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rolake. I'm from Ondo State, Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm currently a legal associate at a law firm.
Thank you so much. And Shams, can I ask you to just go last but not least for us, please?
Okay, hello everyone. I don't know if you can hear me. My connection is a bit bad. So my name is Shamsia Mohammed. I am from Nasarawa State, currently based in Abuja. I work here as a legal intern in a law firm. Yeah, nice to meet everybody.
Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay, so thanks for all the introductions. Today is very much about everyone who's coming here to find out more information about BCUIC, about BCU, and obviously about Birmingham as well. So what we're more than happy to do is to take any questions that you have, and we can monitor the Q&A and the chat box if you have any questions that you'd like to ask. But we do have some questions already to start with the panel. So Jossy, can I ask you first, if you don't mind? How did you find joining BCUIC? Were you able to make friends easily?
Yeah, when I first joined BCUIC, it was January this year. So everything was online. And it was, I mean, at first everybody, and since it was online, not everybody was open to really talking in class. So what I did is I joined the SRC, the Student Representative Council. That is where I met most of my friends. Like, I think that's where I and Joanna met. So I think by being in the Student Representative Council, I was able to meet more students, not just people in my pathway. So that was how I made friends.
Thank you so much. And Joanna, maybe I could ask the same question to you, if you don't mind. So how did you find making friends?
I also joined BCUIC January this year. I was on the same course with Jossy, and like she said, it was very easy to make friends by joining the Students Representative Council and also being interactive, doing like group projects and all of that. That helped to make friends, and just being open, not just saying, oh, I want to be friends with someone from the same place with. You should be open because you meet people from different cultures. So I was kind of open and I related with other people.
Thank you, Joanna. And Samuel, you're still with us at BCUIC at the moment. Obviously, Jossy and Joanna have already moved on to the university. So Samuel, would you be able to give us your experience of making friends at BCUIC?
Well, I just came to the UK recently. I came in October. Yeah, I arrived in October. So it's very much recent for me. So to be fair, joining the student representative it's really helpful. I'm also part of the student representative. But before that, there were some classes that I had online. But there's this one class that I have to go to the university house to have the lectures and all that. So being involved in the class is also helpful. And also joining the student representative helps you get to meet other students and all that. And while in class, like it's more of a group work and all that. So we get to meet each other from different places and we just try to work and try to achieve the reason why we are here.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Samuel. So obviously we've got members of the panel, some with BCUIC, some are still with BCU, and others have gone on to do different things after they have finished with the university. So so Khalid, maybe can you remember, obviously going back to your times when it was with BCUIC, how we were able to help prepare you for your degree. So what did you get from BCUIC to help you to be successful when you moved on to BCU? Can you remember that far back? You might need to just unmute yourself.
Yeah, actually the experience in BCUIC was quite good, and in terms of the skills I learned that actually prepare me for BCU, things like written skills and then communication skills. So in BCUIC during our time, it's quite different from Jossy and the new student that just joined during the coronavirus pandemic, because during that time we get to like go to classes and then participate a lot in the debating societies, and then we have group assignments as well. And then apart from group assignments, we have our assignments, that's like courseworks. And then from the coursework, it actually prepares me to get myself into like the referencing parts, because as a law student, you have to like learn a lot about referencing to avoid plagiarism and all that, because they take it quite serious in the university. And then apart from referencing, the debating society actually helps me in terms of communicating skills. I get to learn a lot about presenting my ideas and then communicating with others. When I got to BCU, I get to know things like seminar. We have seminars and then you have to prepare yourself. They give you like questions to go home, like assignments, to go home and then prepare your answers. And then you come to the seminar room for like an hour. So you have to present your answer to the lecturer and other students as well. And then apart from that, I think when it comes to group assignments as well, we have some group assignments in BCUIC, that's which has to do with like 8 students in a group, and then that helps me get into like get well with the student, and I try as much as possible to understand different perspectives from different people. Like because when I went to BCUIC, I met people from other countries, which was quite difficult at first. But then within like 1 month, I kind of developed the skills, and then when I reach BCU, I find it very easier to like mix with other students and develop my skills as well. And then to be honest, the experience in BCUIC is quite good. But then when I moved into BCU, I find out that a lot of things are different there in terms of shall I say the courseworks? Because when I was in BCUIC, they give me coursework like 1,000 words, which actually helps me a lot. But then when I moved to BCU, it was like 5,000 words assignments. And I'm like, oh my God, well, I just have to adapt and then use the skills I had from BCUIC to like adapt and then get my assignment done at the right time. To be honest, the experience was very, very good as well.
Thank you so much, Khalid. Rolake, do you have anything to add to that? I know that was a very comprehensive answer, but perhaps was there anything that you felt that BCUIC did very well to help prepare you for your degree?
I think you said it all.
Khalid, your answers are too good. Okay, Shams, and anything that you would add to Khalid's comments, experience?
Mostly the debate, classwork, the mini tests. It wasn't really formative, but we had to do like little class assignments. That was very helpful for us to get feedback and then know where to improve on. That's basically it. Yeah.
Thank you, Shams. Beth, was there anything that we need to pick up from the Q&As?
Yeah, so there's a couple of questions about how much is the payment for NHS insurance, and do I have to pay it before I leave Nigeria or when I get to the UK? So that's one question. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, should we cover that one? Samuel, you're obviously you joined us just a month or two ago, so perhaps you'll remember. I don't know if you can share your experience about the cost of the NHS surcharge. I think it's a few £100 a year. Do you know the exact number for Nigeria?
While doing my own, I think I paid it all together, like for 4 years. So the cost was about, I think, 495. I think.
Is that for each year?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's roughly what Samuel paid as he joined us in the September intake of this year. You would pay that as part of the visa application, so that would be paid prior to arriving in the UK, and obviously that gives access to the National Health Service. So if you have an emergency, you can go to the hospital to get treatment, which you then would need to pay for at that point. So it's a really good thing to have. Obviously, coming over, traveling overseas, and hopefully nothing happens. But if it does happen, it's worth having, making sure that you do have cover for medical and also your travel insurance as well, that you should look at before you do travel anywhere in the world. Thank you, Samuel. Anything else, Beth?
Yes, there's a good general question from Gabriel, I think. Just a request to tell us about life in Birmingham City. So I'm sure all of our panelists can probably have got some experiences on that.
Perfect. I think that's a really good question. So are we okay maybe just to go around the group and give your experiences of maybe what you've enjoyed in Birmingham, how it's met your expectations or even surpassed your expectations in certain ways, and what you like to do in Birmingham, perhaps? Samuel, as a most recent resident arriving, should we ask you first? Is that okay?
Well, for me, when I first arrived, it was really quite different, because there's some stuff you see online and you be like, is this really the way this thing is? But when you get here, it's a lot more different. Like, there are some places that you really need to visit. The school representative are planning to go with some students to the Cabri ward on Saturday. So I've been there once, so it's a really good place to be. And in Birmingham, as it is known, Birmingham is the second largest in the UK. So although it's really crowded, the population is quite large, but it's really like, the city is really nice. The city is really nice. They have good place that you can visit and you really enjoy. And there are also some good restaurants. I think I visited one African restaurant like that. I've forgotten the name, but it's like, the food is really, really good. And staying in Birmingham has just been, for me, it's just been quite phenomenal. So let me just put it that way.
Thank you, Samuel. Jossy, could I ask you the same question, just about your experiences in Birmingham?
I think okay, for me, there are so many things to do in Birmingham. Like right now, this is Christmas season. And I mean, especially because of the school is located in the city center, so many things happen around city center. So right now there's a German market, which is kind of like this, what I call like a Christmas festival or a Christmas carnival. So I think Birmingham it's a big tourist spot basically. So there's always something happening. I think if you're coming next year is the Commonwealth Games and it will be taking place in Birmingham. We have the sea life. I just feel like if you ever want to do something in Birmingham, there's always something to do. We have lots of restaurants at almost every corner. I don't think you could possibly be bored in Birmingham. Yeah, and as I said, especially since you would probably live in a student accommodation, or I don't know where you would live, but you would definitely be somewhere close to city center, which means all the stores will be close to you. Yeah. So yeah.
Thanks, Jossy. Rolake, could I ask you to come in there and just talk about your experiences in Birmingham? I know it's a little bit further in the distant past, but I'm sure there's still a lot of things that are similar.
Yeah, so like my stay in Birmingham was actually really fun because first of all, I stayed around the city center, so everywhere was really close, boring, shopping malls, restaurants, everything. And Birmingham is also a lively city, so I don't think you actually be bored at all. You always find something to do, whether it's to eat, whether it's to shop, whether it's to go around, whether it's to like go for parties and everything. So yeah, it's really a good city to live in. So I'm sure you enjoy your stay there.
Thank you so much. And oh, Joanna, you're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's
I think
okay. We
the
lost you for a
connection.
second. Okay.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Yeah, so I was wondering if, I don't know if you heard the question, I'll just repeat it, but we're just talking about experiences of being in Birmingham, maybe some of the positive things that you've found that you enjoy doing, any of the events that are going on that you might enjoy, and just, the general kind of lifestyle that you have in Birmingham.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing about like being in Birmingham and like away from home is meeting people. I've been engaged in different activities that enabled me to meet people from different places, different backgrounds, and even Nigerians. So making friends has been quite interesting, as well as I don't know how this will sound, but church has been very interesting. Like, finding a church where you can actually relate and then be like have a family there. That has been interesting as well. And then just walking around at random, maybe in the city center, go shopping and all of that. So it's been very interesting. Birmingham I haven't even seen quarter of Birmingham because Birmingham is so big. So yeah, it's been interesting and it's really good.
Thanks, Joanna. That's really kind of you. Shams, are you okay to? Hopefully, your reception, your audio is strong enough to help. But would you have anything that you'd like to discuss about your experiences in Birmingham when you were here as a student?
Okay, so what I would say is Birmingham, there's everything for everybody, basically. If you like to party, there's that. To eat, there are restaurants, different kind of food, so it's like multicultural. So whatever it is that you're looking for is there. So provides for everybody. I think that's the best way to describe it. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Shams. That's really good. Khalid, do you have anything to add to that? I know there's been there's a lot of great answers in there. So is there anything particular that stands out for you from Birmingham?
Yeah, as Johanna and Shamsia said, Birmingham is more like a multicultural society that you meet different people from different backgrounds. Firstly, when I arrived at Birmingham, one of the difficult things to adjust to is the weather. Because I was obviously coming from Nigeria, and then the weather there, it's quite cold. And then I get to find out that, okay, I need to get some hoodies from Bullring. That's my favorite place of shopping, actually. I enjoy shopping in Bullring because you have a lot of things there, like Food Asylum, a lot of things you can get. And then one of my favorite spots is Chinatown. you have different types of food there, because I love food. Actually, I love food. I love eating a lot. So I go to China restaurants and then get a lot of things and eat. And then apart from that, you have apart from China restaurants, you get like Indian restaurants as well, and then different types of food as well. Then when I moved to, that was when I was in BCUIC. Then when I moved to BCU, BCU is quite big. And then I met a lot of friends in my first year. So from different countries. And then I kind of mix my study with the social life and social events, because you can't just go throughout your uni life just studying. You have to like 80% studying and then 20% playing at the same time. So I get to know Broad Street. We went out to Broad Street like on Friday nights and then Saturday nights, and then on Sunday you get back and then prepare for your uni, your seminars and all that. Quite sure it's one of the most beautiful cities that I've like stay in England actually, because it's the second largest city, and then you have a lot of space, not like London that when you walk in London, there are a lot of people walking, you don't even have your space to walk. But then in Birmingham, I mean, like Birmingham is a very beautiful place to stay. And then apart from the nightlives, I get to make a lot of friends. From there, I now learn new things that I could get myself a job while still studying. And then that gives me the opportunity to actually develop a lot of skills, and which is actually helping me right now in my current career, because in my first job that I worked with is it home fundraising that has to do with Cancer Research UK. So I was actually participating in one of the this charity organization. We go door to door and then create awareness and a lot of things, And then apart from that, in my second year, I got a new job for myself, and I was making a lot of friends. To be honest, Birmingham is amazing. I'm looking forward to go there some days, actually, maybe in the next few years, and get to know more people and meet some of my friends, because I met a lot of friends, they're home students, especially from different parts of the country, like in Manchester, in London. Like we usually go there and visit each other. And then as a Muslim, I find out that there are a lot of mosques in the city, especially where I was living. I was living in Digbeth. Digbeth was like, I think 5 minutes away from the city center, that's center campus at Cousin Building. So I usually take my bus, which is, I think, if I could remember, I think it's bus 16 or something. I was usually using the bus 16 and then stopped around Buring and then walk down to the uni, which is like 2 minutes walk. So it's quite amazing, to be honest. I don't get to spend a lot on transport. You have trams working, you have buses working throughout, and then train as well. So you don't spend a lot. It's a city to actually live in and then study. It gives you a lot of chances to like develop yourself in terms of working and at the same time studying. So I just hope that all the students, the new students actually coming to going to Birmingham, and the ones that are in first year, I know that they will actually find it very, very easier to adapt to the whole city goings and the societies there. So I would like to say thank you so much to everyone as well. And then all the new students, I wish you all the best as well in Birmingham, and have fun, go to Broad Street and come back to the university and study as well.
Khalid, I think you answered all of the questions in one go there, so thank you so much. I think it probably, in my mind at least, it made me think of another couple of questions that perhaps other members of the panel could assist with, and I think one of them is around accommodation and what you found in terms of where you wanted to stay and how where you chose to live, and obviously getting into and out from the city centre, etc. Maybe you lived in a city centre, maybe you lived a little bit further away. And I think there's another one potentially that you've raised as well, Khalid, around job opportunities, about employability, perhaps that some questions around that. So I just wonder if to start with, maybe we could have a quick we could have a quick conversation about some of the accommodation offerings that were considered. So Samuel, will you tell us a little bit more about where you decided to live when you moved to Birmingham?
Why I was doing the admission process, the school will also offer you if you will need accommodation. So there's an accommodation with United Students. So that's where me and some other Nigerians, that's where we're currently staying. So the school also offer you accommodation, and at times they for me they give me a discount. So I think it's going to be really helpful to get accommodation from the school, because if you're trying to get it outside from the school, it's going to be quite a large amount. So yeah.
Jossy, can I ask you about your accommodation at the moment?
Okay, because I stay with my sister, and we're both students, were able to get an apartment that's still close to city center and close to school. But I know that in Birmingham, there are lots of different kind of accommodation options depending on what you are looking for. So before we moved here, I was staying in Lucas Studios, which I think is close to United, something like that, place where he mentioned. So there you could get like a 1-bedroom apartment with a personal bathroom. Most people stay in flats and have flatmates. So I think it's just, I think like the good thing with Birmingham is whatever price range that you plan for yourself, you could always find something. But that would, like, for example, you could either get your own room but with a shared bathroom, or a personal space. So it's just wherever you want, you can find it in Birmingham when it comes to accommodation.
Thanks, Jossy. I think that's I think you've encompassed all of the options very, very, very nicely there for us. So there are so many different opportunities for students to look for accommodation, whether it's in the city centre, in a very new newly built student accommodation, whether it's private rental accommodation, like Jossy mentioned, that she is staying with her sister, again in the city centre, I would think, and therefore nice easy access to the university and all of the other great things about living in the city centre. But obviously there are options, as Jossy's mentioned, to suit all budgets, and we can help and support that through our accommodation team at BCUIC. I was wondering, perhaps I could ask the question about kind of employability to maybe some of the panelists who've already moved on from BCUIC and BCU, to see how the degree as a whole helps support your career development, and and also whether you took advantage of any of the options to study and work whilst you're in the UK. So, Rolake, maybe I could start with you if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay. So while I was in BCU, there was this thing called manpower. I don't know if it's still there. So yeah, it's like with the manpower, like there are different like job opportunities, whether it was on campus or outside campus. Like those were the things that I used when I was trying to like look for jobs. And one of the job offers I picked was, I think sorry, I can't remember but like you should, like, if you're looking for a job, just try and check out manpower, and they give like different like student jobs, and the pay is actually fair enough, and it's like convenience, and it can be something you can do while you're still studying in school.
Did you find, obviously, how did you find that the course itself maybe helped support you, obviously once you've gone on to do things after university, Rolake, as well? Obviously you've gone on to do some amazing things since you've left.
Yeah, so I studied law, and we usually do like mooting and debates. So during the mooting and debates, like you can like speak on different topics, and also like those really helped me in my legal career now, because like I can be able to like speak on different things without having to prepare and stuff. So yeah, this year really helped me with that.
Thank you so much. And Khalid, I think you've probably already covered quite a bit about your life, certainly in Birmingham. But is there anything you'd like to add about how BCU and BCUIC help support you into your career?
Yeah, in terms of what I learned in BCU and BCUIC in terms of helping me with my career, as well, like you said, we have Mooting Society and then debating clubs. So the debating clubs, which I actually did in BCUIC as well, but I actually didn't take part in the debating society in BCU, but I was in the Mooting Society as well, which gives us some real cases. We analyze the cases and then we present our issues to the judges. Because we have, I think we have a courtroom in, is it in, I think in level 3 in Cousin Building. We have a Crown Court there, so which actually gives the students an insight of how you feel, how it is to be in the court. Apart from the Mooting Society, like in some of the courses, in BCU, you have some like evidence, law of evidence. You have some topics and then some courseworks that have to do with you coming into the courtrooms and then present your case to the judge, and then she will actually mark you according to your presentation. So you have a formative assessment, which will actually prepare you for the summative assessment. And before I reach the formative assessment, I kind of like create a group reading with my classmates, and then we prepare ourselves. One of the students will act as a judge, and then you present to the judge, and then he will ask you a random questions. So from there, we actually learn some of the skills. So by the time that we get to the courtroom for this formative assessment, we are ready for whatever questions we are going to get from the judges. So it was quite easy, to be honest. And then learning all those skills, apart from that, communication skills, then it comes to like your dissertations and then your courseworks. Coursework is something that you just don't have to write essay, but you have to put some work into it, like referencing and then critical analysis. So in terms of your critical analysis, what it helps you is it helps me in solving a lot of problems in my current job that I'm doing, because I'm already used to like solving problems in BCU in terms of my assignments and then the cases that I present in the courtrooms. So when I graduated from uni and then came to law school, graduated from law school and then to the chamber. So a lot of things that I find out in the chamber are things that I've already learned in the university. And then it's actually not a new thing. So I feel like BCU gave me a lot of skills, communication skills, written skills, research skills, and a lot of things. So BCU is actually a great place to study and then learn new things and have a good time there as well.
Thank you so much, Khalid. There's another question that we've just had through. Thanks, Beth, about the kind of the Nigerian community within Birmingham. So I don't know if anyone would be happy just to come off mute and maybe talk about that, maybe a sense of community, food, etc., opportunities to meet with people, maybe through societies or anything else within the university or external to the university. Has anyone got
I would like to say that, like I said earlier, when it comes to making friends, it's just how open-minded you are. There are a lot of Nigerians in Birmingham, a lot of Nigerians. And I know one of the major concerns is food. Don't worry, there's food. Like, there are Nigerian food everywhere. You can get them, and they are not too expensive, so you can easily get them. They're accessible. You have African stores everywhere. And speaking of people, it depends on who you associate yourself with. In your class, you will see loads of Nigerians. You just have to learn to associate and be open to friendship and all of that. And then being active in the school, like joining the societies, maybe at BCU, SU, that's the student union, you would find people at BCUIC, the student representatives. I know when I was a student representative, we always do activities, events, and all of that. That's another opportunity to get to meet people. And honestly, the key is just being open and associating. Don't come to the UK and lock yourself up in the room. You go to your class, you don't talk to anybody, you go back to your house. Nah, you have to be late, try to associate, and definitely you get to meet people that are from your place. You get to meet, even if you want to be, okay, maybe I'm Yoruba, I want to meet only Yoruba people. It works that way. It's just depending on you. It's all on you, honestly.
Thanks, Joanna. Shams, I don't know, I hope you can still hear. I believe you might have been involved with the some of the societies, perhaps the Nigerian Society when you were at BCU?
So I was the secretary for the Nigerian Society. I can't remember when the society was set up, but I think from like 2016 till I left, I was the secretary. So I really encourage the new student to join because you get to meet with other uni. I think we did an event with Aston one time. So I encourage that as well. You get involved, you get to meet the ESCOs, you know who to go to when something is wrong. Especially with the Nigerian society, if you had any maybe visa issues and you don't want to go directly to maybe the ACTS test, you can go through the president or the Nigerian society secretary. Then they will get through the uni for you.
Thank you,
I
Shams.
would encourage them to, the new student, to actually get involved. I don't know if the society still exists. Hopefully it does. If not, then the BCU one would.
Perfect. I didn't hear every single word, Shams, but thank you so much. I think you're encouraging certainly everybody to join, any societies really that work for them, I think, which is really good advice. And obviously, maybe one of the guys that's still with us at the moment with BCUIC or BCU will let us know if the Nigerian Society is still in existence. Can anyone update us on that?
There's definitely
I think there's
an African society which encompasses all of the countries in Africa. So it may be that it expanded to encompass more of Africa. So there is that support community at the Students' Union.
We've had another question through just about kind of the modules and the experiences with lectures and lecturers, etc. Perhaps Samuel, do you feel like you might be able to take that one for us?
Talking about the modules and the lecturers, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, how are you finding them? What are you getting from the lectures and from the modules that you're studying? What good stuff is coming through for you?
For me, the modules are really, for me, it's really interesting because there are a lot of skills that it's trying to teach, and the tutors try to go extra mile to make sure you understand what they are trying to teach you. And where you make mistakes, they give you feedback and also make sure you improve on the aspects. So the modules are really interesting. There's this one I'm studying compositional style. So it's really a long class, but right now we are working on the assessment of an essay of about 1,500 words. So she gave us the basis of how to write in academic styles and all that, and also the referencing us to be this BCU standard because the school has this law against plagiarism. So we also have to make sure that we know about that and also make sure we do our work as expected of us, so not to violate the rules.
Thank you, Samuel. That's really good. I think we'll probably start drawing to a close. So if anyone does have any more questions that they want to ask us, then please do pop them into the chat box. I know that some of the questions are quite specific about maybe your offer and the course. And I'm going to bring up another page in just a second, which has got my contact details and also Ebby's contact details. Obviously, Ebby is based in Lagos, and we can do everything we can to help and support you with any individual questions. I think there was was one that I saw earlier, which was around once you've submitted all the documents, what's kind of next. So obviously we want to get you that unconditional offer as quickly as possible if that's where you are. Once you've got your unconditional, it's a question of then looking at making the payments, pulling together all of the documents that you need, things like bank statements, etc., that you will need for your CAS, sending them to us, and then we can start to get things moving for you as quickly as possible, so we have the opportunity to welcome you in January. But if you have any other kind of more specific questions, those are our contact details. Hopefully you can see those on the page now. There's a couple of questions I just want to ask to everybody on the panel. The first one, and if we can just rotate through everyone and maybe just give quite short answers, if that's okay. I know it's hard, Khalid. You're very good at full answers. But first one would be, what advice would you give to an offer holder if you can put yourself back into that position where you were looking around at all of the different opportunities across the world? So what advice would you give to an offer holder about deciding where to study? Shall I start with you, Khalid?
The advice I would give to them is, well, in terms of getting an offer from university, especially from BCUIC or BCU, BCUIC is a very good place to go to, because as I said earlier, you get to learn a lot of opportunities and a lot of skills from there, and then you meet new people and then learn a lot of things. But then there are these things specifically about BCU when it comes to studying there. The lecturers are quite helpful in every aspect, in every difficulties you find yourself in terms of coursework. So there was this time that I had this coursework in contract law. That was one of the most difficult course I came across in my first year, because the question itself was confusing, because it took us like almost 6 to 7 months to actually understand what the question is actually, what the question actually wants from us. So they gave us this opportunity to do a formative assessment, and then from that formative assessment, you now get a reply from the lecturer, and then you get to know what the question is asking you to give. And then there was this time that after getting my formative assessment, formative assessment, let me say review, I went to the lecturer, and the first thing he told me was, you need to think before you start writing. I'm like, wow. And then when it comes to the referencing, my referencing was quite poor, but then he now referred me to, I think, department in Millennium Park, to go there, and then they teach me how to reference my work and how to give a concise answer to that particular questions. So when you get offer from a university like BCU, I'll actually encourage you to take the advantage, because apart from the university itself, the city is amazing. Trust me, you actually enjoy yourself in Birmingham. In BCU, it's actually in the heart of the city. So from lectures, you can go to other places. So getting the offer from BCU is actually an opportunity given to you to come to the UK and explore yourself and get to develop a lot of skills. So I'll strongly recommend BCU for any other student that his work is seeing himself through to going to the UK. And I'll actually say congratulations for getting that offer as well.
Thank you, Khalid. Can I just say a very similar question? Maybe if I can ask you, Joanna, next. So what advice would you give to an offer holder?
The advice I'll give to, I'll call you guys potential students, is that be calm through the process of applying and all of that. Just be calm. You have your potentials. You've placed yourself out there and offered yourself to BCUIC and BCU to accept you. So you just have to be calm. Don't panic. ask questions, just like you're doing now. This is very good. Ask questions so you can get answers and you be on the right path. I wished I had this kind of meeting while I was applying and speak to students that was already in the system. I didn't have this kind of opportunity. So when you see things like this, opportunities like this, grab it, ask questions. And the same thing when you get here, be calm and be smart, be intelligent, and know what you're doing, be focused and be active. Like I said earlier, don't just say, I'm coming to school. Yeah, be serious, yes, be very serious, but be active with school activities as well. Be interactive with your fellow classmates, and what sort, and just and be positive, be very positive. You get a lot of culture shock, physical shock, mental shock, all of the shock, but just be positive and be strong. Honestly, you have to be strong. You have to be strong. Don't let yourself get lonely to the extent you want to be depressed because you're away from home. Be positive. And one very good advice, whether you're Christian or you're Muslim, find a religious institution to join. Maybe it's the church or it's the mosque. It's very important to join and, have a family away from home. And I'm sure you enjoy it.
Thanks so much, Joanna. Rolake, maybe I can ask you the same question if that's okay. So just what advice would you give to a potential student? Much better term. Thank you, Joanna. What advice could you give to somebody who is thinking about the next step on their academic journey? What would you think you would tell them? I think we might have lost Rolake. Shams, are you there? Maybe you could answer that question for me.
What advice? Okay, I'll say go for it, because Birmingham is I know I've said it before, but like, it's for everybody. There's everything for everybody. So if you are very ill and too serious, you can stay at home. If you like going out, you go out. If you want to work while studying, you can do that. You can work in uni as well. So you have opportunities to work in uni, maybe student ambassadors, or you work during the open days. The uni will also help you in getting a job. You can go through the BCUSU, get a job. What else is there? There's literally everything there. So it's the best place to be, if I'm being honest. I really enjoyed like my whole stay there. So yeah. Thank you.
And one thing again,
I
want to add to what Cynthia said in terms of assignments. So I want to advise you students, never procrastinate. Don't procrastinate your coursework, because when you procrastinate, trust me, there will be negative impacts on it, because you get things like you get errors like poor referencing and your punctuation marks as well, because when you procrastinate, you get to do things at the last minute. And when you get to do things at the last minute, you actually don't engage with the questions and you make a lot of mistakes. And that mistakes will actually affect your final mark. And trust me, you don't want to have nothing less than 50s in your coursework, because all we want is actually like a 2-1 and above. So do not procrastinate. Use the library. We have the 24 hours library in the Cousin building. So you have all the books you need in the world. Everything you need is there for you to go there and then study, get the books. You can borrow the books for like, I think up to like 2 weeks. Do your research on time and then get along with all the social life. When it's like, let me say, a month or 2 months to your submission time, I feel like by that time, you have to post every other activities. Because when I was working and studying at the same time. But then when it's like 2 months to my exams or the time that I'll submit my assignments, I usually stop working, any other social life, I stop everything and then concentrate myself in the uni and then get to finish my coursework and then prepare for the exams as well. Because I know after exams, I have the whole summer. I have the whole summer break, like up to 3 to 4 months. I can do whatever I want to do. I can go out and have fun, meet a lot of people, but you just have to know what what actually take you to the UK. I mean, you spent a lot to get there, and then you should grab the opportunity and then make the best out of it. And I hope that you guys get the best result that you wish for. So that's what I wanted to add, actually.
Thank you so much. That's really really good advice, and very sensible as well. I think if everyone listens to that, then they will be in a very strong position with their studies. I want to draw this to a close very soon, because I know we've taken out a lot of time from both the panelists, and obviously we're very grateful to all of you for joining us. And also, if you're attending or listening to this later, then I want to say thank you very much for your time. Before I do so, I just wondered if maybe Jossy, I could ask you, just put you on the spot. I know you enjoy this, right? Can you think of 3 words to describe your experience with BCUIC? No pressure.
3 words. Okay. It was certainly like a different and new educational experience for me. It was fun. And one more. Yeah, I think I'll just, okay, yeah, it was an educational experience, I guess. So
Thank you, Jossy. Sorry for putting you on the spot. I was just making sure you were still listening. I know you were. Anyway, so I'll just double check with Beth or Ebby. Do we have any other questions that we need to look at the moment?
Somebody asked what the negative parts of Birmingham were, and I think some of our panelists have replied actually and said nothing negative, but just prepare for the weather. So I think that's one good piece of advice. If you're joining in January, make sure you bring plenty of layers.
Bring an umbrella.
We have nice weather in Birmingham. We have all the seasons. It's fairly mild, but yeah, make sure you bring layers.
Absolutely. If anyone wants to get in touch with us afterwards, my email address and Ebby's email address is on the screen at the moment. If it's a particular, a question that you have specific to your offer, then it's probably easier just to come through to me, as I say, or Ebby, and we'll help you everything we can. I want to say a massive thank you to the students and former students that have joined us. I know you've taken a lot of chunk out of your day, whether you're working or studying, etc. And I don't want you to be procrastinating, Khalid, and missing out on doing your assignment. So I think we should probably halt it there. And as I say, thank you so much to you all. Thanks, Ebby, for joining us as well. Thanks, Beth, for arranging this and getting in contact with everyone. And thank you so many for so many attendees as well who've come along and asked such amazing questions. So thank you very, very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and please do keep in touch and ask any questions on the email addresses you've got there. Thank you.